Yeah. So since we're going to do uh, some very important prayers, before the teaching start, and we take the opportunity to collectively dedicate to each and every one of you and your family members, especially if anyone going through mental or physical, challenges, financial or relationship challenges, whatever it may be. And also in this very time in the world, there are so much troubles, going on, like such as war. Yeah, so many troubles. So we come together here to collectively dedicate this practice to purify all the inconvenience, uh, and whatever the causes it may be. And the world and the beings, always enjoy peace and happiness and virtue. Yeah, we dedicate that.
Start with refuge and bodhicitta. We'll do 2 times in Tibetan and 1 time in English. Sangye chudang
Chedanzo
soji
Jijo
chunam
Namba,
la
Janju
janju
Badu
badu
Dani
dani
Jaso
jaso
Je,
je dani
Daji
shene
Jeso
jipe
Jebe Sonama,
sonamgi drola
Dola
benje
Benje Sanje
sangye
Rubar
rupa
Harisho.
shu sangye
Ye
chudang
Chedanzo
soji
Jijo
chunam la
Namba, Janju
janju badu
Badu
dani
Dani Jaso Je, Daji
shene
Jeje
jipe
Jebe Sonama,
sonamgi
Dola
drola
Benje
benje
Sanje
sangye
Rubar
rupa
Harisho.
shu. I go for refuge and feel I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. A short mandala offering. I will do it in Tibetan. Sajipur ki
Yo Rama Re Rama Shi Nye De Ba De Sa Ye Ye Do Me De Do Nama Do Je Che Bara Jo
Jetsun Lama.
Ayam Bai Je Je Jo Je 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 Do Za Be Do Je Je Ma Sa Ba Ye Je Ye Cha A Do Dhamma Guru Rana Menda La Kamneya Daya. Yeah, so then I will recite prayers, salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, where the Dharma wisdom channel, with unbroken lineage up to now. So by um, paying the salutation will create the auspicious meritorious causes to receive the lineage blessings, and also salutation to lineage gurus, like such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Tsongkhapa Rinpoche, etc. So that um, just by being within the the discourse, the environment, whether intellectually, whether one get the point to the teaching or not, but spiritually, without doubt that we'll receive the blessings, the blessings of purification, blessings of accumulations of merit, blessings, to develop the path, towards the perfect enlightenment accordingly. So that is the main purpose. Gangi duzene zone dawa tamje bambe jire dambe chene tenze be godam de la cha che. Toni ni je son do jo be lama zeje zeje kanche dendre be chana be mo tenze nyanzo. So wa debso da yu chin ye lo. Yeah, then feel the absolute presence of Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, who is the embodiment of all the past, present, future Buddhas. You visualize, vividly, he's present. And then we recite a few rounds of Guru Shakyamuni Buddha's name mantra, Tayata Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Soha. So the meaning of the mantra, Tayata, very much meaning referring to the Tathagatas or the Buddhas have those gone beyond, very much referring to the the existence of the past and present Buddhas out there. Om, the syllable Om has three letters, A, Oma. It represents the three bases of the practitioner, like ourselves, the body, speech, and mind. And also it represents the resultant body, speech, and mind of our spiritual achievement, the Buddha's holy body, speech, and mind. Then Muniye, Muniye, Maha Muniye, Soha. So there are three Muniye. The last one is a Maha Muniye. Muniye referring to the vehicle or the practices. So first Muniye is referring to the teachings of the small capable being, such as the teaching, such as the practice of refuge, practice of 5 lay precepts, the practice of observations of the 10 virtuous precepts, practice of refraining from committing 10 non-virtuous, negative doings, and renouncing the very much of all the inconvenience of the 3 lower realms, such as the experience of having the aggregates of the hell being, hungry ghosts, animal beings, then aspire to actualize higher rebirth, such as human gods and demigod, through the practice of wisdom and method, wisdom of wisdom of no self, or wisdom of understanding the karmic law, cause and effect. Then the attitude of love, attitude of love, compassion, and generosity, and observations of the 10 virtuous practices. So those are the different practices that in relation to the practice of the small vehicle. So the first Muniye refer to that. Then second Muniye is referred to the middle capable beings and middle capable beings path, such as practice of Four Noble Truth, practice of understanding, and practice of true truth, conventional truth and ultimate truth. Then practice of Eightfold Path, practice of the 12 link of interdependent, origination, understanding the how samsara actualize, such as by the cause of ignorance, cause of delusion and cause of karma, it bring about, all the samsaric experiences, like such as in relation to human, like our life, due to the ignorant, express delusions, then engage in karma, and then bring about the birth in samsara, carrying these contaminated aggregates of body and mind, feeling, composition factor, etc., which are binding in the nature of suffering of pain, suffering of change, and pervasive compounded suffering. Then carrying, because of the contaminated, because of being contaminated, contaminated by karma and delusion, then once you're born, even you're born as a human being, has to go through the changes of, getting old, sickness, then, finally death. So understanding that process, understanding the destructive, the power of the karma and delusion, and the suffering nature of the samsara. Then also understanding in reverse way, the 12 link of interdependent existence. So if you wish to stop death, stop aging, sickness, then need to stop birth. In order to stop birth, you need to stop karma. In order to stop karma, you need to stop all the delusions. In order to stop all the delusions, you need to stop the root cause, the ignorant, not understanding the ultimate reality of self and phenomena. Yeah. So then, the mind of renunciation, not only to the three lower realms, but renouncing also the higher, three kind of rebirths. So very much renouncing the entire six realm of existence and aspiring for genuine sense of freedom from karma and delusion, which is the state of nirvana peace. And actualizing that liberation, that state of liberation, cultivating the path of, like, such as Four Noble Truth, etc., like that. So that is the second muniye, very much meaning that. And the third muniye, which attached with another word, maha. Ma means great, great yana. So great here in very much about the courage of the courage or the vision of the practitioner. So here is referring to the Bodhisattva practitioners, the practitioners who abide in a Bodhisattva's way of life, or following the teaching, accordance with the Mahayanic Dharma, or the altruistic Dharma, which is main Dharma, or the practice or the teaching is on bodhicitta, the practice of not just compassion, but great compassion, not just practicing love, but great love, and even the compassion and love also practice, with its limitless potential, up to the altruistic, practicing the altruistic love, altruistic compassion. practice of the 6 paramitas, this practice of 6 perfection, practice of the Bodhisattva precepts, like such as aspiring Bodhisattva precepts, engaging Bodhisattva precepts, and practice of altruistic wisdom, not just learning and cultivating the wisdom of selflessness of person, but here cultivating the wisdom of selflessness of all phenomena, self and all phenomena, the emptiness, wisdom, which is also infused by the altruistic intention, the bodhicitta. So practicing, altruistic method and altruistic wisdom. Then also practicing the most secret, the path, which is the mantrayana, the tantrayana, the tantric, generation stages of the practice and completion stages of the practice of the 4 classes of the tantra, action tantra, kriya tantra, yoga tantra, haisuga tantra. And so this practice is very much, meaning of the Maha Muniye. So Soha is very much, very much say arrive, or very, very much meaning observe, receive, actualize. So in short, just like the Buddhas of the past and present, on the basis of this trainees, body, speech, and mind, through the cultivations of the teachings and practice of the 3 yanas, Muniya, Muniya, Ma Muniya, and actualize the resultant perfected body, speech, and mind of the Buddha. So the meaning is that. So we can recite together. So when you recite that, we actualize the imprint of the whole path in our continuum. Daya daya muni muni maya muna yeso. 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 Okay, thank you. Oh yeah. So topic of today's talk is on Vajrasattva practice, Vajrasattva purification practice. So yeah, purification practice is one of central practice of any spirituality, and particularly in Buddhist practice. Very much when we talk about Buddha Dharma, practicing Buddha Dharma is mainly to actualize two key practice. The first one is to purify all the negativities, negative potentials, negative possibilities, negative influence, any sort of negativities that the potential they carry in our body, speech, and mind, or any expressions of negativities through our body, speech, and mind. And so all that to be purified. And one of the main practice of any form of practice you do, any form of meditation you do, sutric practice, tantric practice, is to purify negativities. So the second, second important practice is to accumulate merits. Very much replace our system with all the positive, positive virtues or positive positivities, virtues, beneficial wisdoms, beneficial attitudes, beneficial habits, beneficial qualities. So all the Dharma teachings, the yoga in relation to Dharma practices, including meditation, are the most beneficial virtues. Those are the to be accumulated or to be replaced with our all, all non-beneficial habits, harmful imprints, harmful habitual doings. So very much Buddha Dharma practice, conclude in these two purposes, two practices. So Vajrasattva, so Vajrasattva, there are interpretive meaning and definitive meaning. As far as concerned with the representation of those definitely interpretive meaning, illustrate in the form of deity. So the Vajrasattva deity. So there may be some pictures around. Very much come in the many different aspects, many different colors also. But the very common one is the solitary, Vajrasattva, which is in the form of father, a male, and in white color. Then right hand holding a Vajra, left hand holding bell. Then sitting cross-legged. Then in the form of, there are three different kind of Buddha's body. Dharmakaya body, Sambhogakaya body, Nirmanakaya body. And that aspect is the Sambhogakaya aspect of the Vajrasattva, which very much, adorned with ornaments, and different marks of the ornaments. Then the another type of slightly more secret, less uncommon compared to the earlier one, which is the Vajrasattva father mother, Vajrasattva with his consort. Again, the colors are very much the same. The implements are very much the same. The mother, the implements instead of carrying Vajra bell, carry the curve knife, so like that. So then there are Vajrasattva in relation to in relation to Guya Samaja practice, Kala Chakra practice, Heruka practice, Hayagiva practice. So due to the different main deity yoga practices, the images and the colors also there's changes. Some comes in a dark blue color. Such Vajrasattva also there like that. So those are not common. So then so the so the interpretive meaning of Vajrasattva the Vajra here that which which the one of the hardest object, that can destroy anything, like a hammer that can destroy many things using that. Like in other words, it's very much like a diamond, is regarded very hard. So since the Vajrasattva is antidote, then even the interpretive meaning that holding Vajra, it shows that is very powerful. Very powerful. Really have the characteristic to able to open on to the negation, which are the negativities and obstacles. The sattva very much, in fact, is there's a two letters. In Tibetan, very clear. Semba. Dorje is Vajra. Semba, Sem, and Sem is mind. Pa. Here the mind is, referring to the altruistic mind. Altruistic mind. Method aspect of the mind, using the tools of very powerful antidote of Vajra to able to bring about elimination of negativities, negative forces. So Pa is very much like heroic, is power. It's very much referring to like hero. So because of the method and the wisdom, holding that as a principle of that person, that being, then you become like hero, isn't it? So it's very much like Vajrasattva. The interpretive meaning you can very much can understand something like that. And the interpretive meaning that also, the what illustrate the physical aspect of the Sambhopakaya aspect of the physical, the image that we can visualize. So the definitive meaning of Vajrasattva is wisdom of, the altruistic attitude and altruistic wisdom, the wisdom of emptiness. So wisdom of emptiness is the antidote to all negations, all negativities. It's very much like a one medicine that can cure all diseases. And Vajrasattva, whether the deity, whether it's to do with the deity or whether it is to do with the implements or whether it is to do with all the practice in relation to the Vajrasattva, it is the essence of all the numberless past, present, future Buddhas' uh, the ability of purification. So, so in another word, Vajrasattva is the heart of all the Buddhas. All the Buddhas, the heart is a composition of, the true altruism, the wisdom aspect of altruism, and the attitude aspect of altruism. The wisdom aspect of altruism is the Dharmakaya. The attitude aspect of altruism is the omniscient Bodhicitta. And that mind is no different than Vajrasattva. So Vajrasattva is the altruistic wisdom and attitude of the Shakyamuni Buddha, Chenrezig, Tara, Manjushri, and the heart of your guru also, So, mm, and Vajrasattva, in the form of Sambhogakaya, in the form of that particular identity, is very much the aspirations of all the Buddhas, very much wishes of all the Buddhas. The emanator is all the Buddhas of the three time are the one who emanated Vajrasattva in such form, in such form, labeling such name called Vajrasattva, and having the characteristic of such practice, such as the practice of it is mantra, like 100-syllable mantra, or the the 100-syllable mantra is the heart mantra of all the Buddhas, and heart mantra of Vajrasattva. And the short mantra is the heart of the heart mantra of the 100-syllable. In Tibetan, it's called Nyingbo, Nyening, or in a heart near mantra, or the heart of the heart mantra, like that. So then each of the syllable, whether it's a long one or the short one, and each of the characteristic of the Vajrasattva it carries, like such as the implements, the vajra and bell, and even the color. Every single characteristic of the Vajrasattva carries the benefit of purification. So just simply visualizing Vajrasattva, directly apply the antidote to negativities. It's simply visualizing, simply seeing the image or in a drawing or in a statue, it directly antidote to purify, our karma, our negativities. Then, if you visualize the image, of course, even better. Then on top of that, if you recite the mantra, just simply pronouncing the mantra, it directly antidote to purify our negativities. Then on top of that, if you understand the meaning of the mantra, and if you apply the different form of visualizations, to bring about purification, then it will be even greater effectiveness of the purification. You say. Then there are other practices in relation to Vajrasattva that you can receive initiation. There are many forms of initiation, like such as the initial, called Jenang, like a blessing initiation, or permission, permission initiation, permitting initiation. Just by receiving the blessing or the permitted initiation, that alone is a great purification. And that alone, achieve immense of purification of negativities, immense of accumulations of merit to actualize resultant, Vajrasattva within us. Then after that initiation, then there are many advanced practices that we can engage to make our purification practice even more effective. One of them, by engaging in sadhana practice. So Vajrasattva, serious, practical practice manual, based on that sadhana, that you can conduct retreats. You can conduct a retreat accumulating 100,000 times of the long mantra, which is also regarded one of the most powerful purification preliminary practice, which will bring the benefit of practitioner to be able to ripen vessel, clean vessel, where you can now able to contain a nectar. You see, if like a filthy container, you pour nectar, the nectar also be contaminated. Like a container stained with the blood, you pour white milk, the milk will be contaminated. Like a little poison, if you contain a little poison, you pour nectar, the nectar also be contaminated like that. So if our system, if our continuum, or our being, not cleanse of those very, 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 what do you call, the intense negativities, or the negativities within our continuum. Then how much, Dharma pause, Dharma nectar, how much blessings of the Buddhas, try to transmit to us, you won't able to digest, we won't able to digest that. And there are sometimes even the danger of becoming pollution, like very much like, like water are the one that to extinguish the fire. But if the water also burn into fire, then nothing can be, nothing can extinguish the fire. Similar way, if the container ourselves, was certain degree of purity is not there, by overcoming those heavy negativities, then even when we practice Dharma, instead of subduing our mind, subduing our ego, that may boost our ego, then it's very much like, the antidote become, negation instead of, antidote able to negate the negation, so very much like that. So, the Vedas, if individual wish to practice the secret mantra, tantra, especially high Sukhi tantra, which has unbelievable, practices that which act as a sweep path to enlightenment, sweep path, freedom from, samsara. It's so powerful, so effective that, within very cushion, within that very one time of, meditation session, can able to achieve enlightenment. There are such practices are contained within the high Sukhi tantric practices, and that is very much within the practice of generation and completion stages of the practice of tantra, high Sukhi tantra. Even the earlier 3 stages of the tantric school do not, don't have those practices. So only high Sukhi tantra. So now, in order to get ready, in order to receive the benefit of practicing high Sukhi tantra, there are 2 preparatory or preliminary practices that are recommended, which is very much also tradition to all the lineages, but especially in Lama Tsongkhapa's tradition, Gelug tradition, very, very emphasize strongly. The common preparatory practice is master the Lamrim, to learn Lamrim, practice Lamrim, or at least, get well understanding of the three principal aspects of the path, the teaching and the practice on renunciation, teaching and practice on bodhicitta, teaching and practice on emptiness. So, without which Tantra doesn't make any meaning. So those are the basis to manifest all the unbelievable secret tools that tantric practice have. Without emptiness, one able to do that. Without bodhicitta, one able to do that. Without renunciation, one able to do that. You see. So therefore, the best teaching to achieve this the teaching on three principal aspects of the path and practice on three principal aspects of the path is to learn Lamrim, practice Lamrim, the gradual path to enlightenment. And Lama Tsongkhapa, taught in many different stages, the great Lamrim, middling Lamrim, small Lamrim. The short one is so short that it is about 1.5 page, contain entire practice, entire teaching of the whole path. And of course, if you can afford, and it's good to study and practice the great Lamrim, you will be very happy. If you start to explore, if you really have interest in Buddha Dharma, you start to explore the great Lamrim by Lama Tsongkhapa, then you will really say, oh, this is so yummy. This is wow. I don't need anything else. This is it. All the answer that you have in your spiritual journey, everything is there. And even without a teacher explaining it, just able to give a time to read it, you already will understand so much. Very much you will understand everything actually. So that's the common preparatory. The uncommon preparatory is, there are 4 major preliminary practices that are recommended, and Lama Tsongkhapa himself conducted that. So the first one is to purify our negativities, and that is receive the permission or the blessing initiation of Vajrasattva. Then, based on that sadhana manual, conduct 100,000 accumulations of recitation of the long Vajrasattva mantra. We call the 100-syllable Vajrasattva mantra. And usually, if you dedicate full time, 4 sessions a day, each session about 2 hours, it will take about 3 months to complete it. So, but if you are, if you already start to practice now, then your recitation, going to be very fast. So maybe 1 month also possible, maybe 2 months also possible, And there are a lot of such availabilities, conducive places, like even in America, in Nepal, like in Kopan Monastery, in India, Dharamsala, Tushita. So every year there's opportunity, to practice that. So anyway, so the second preliminary practice is practice of refuge, and that also receive the teaching on refuge and accumulate 100,000. The 4-line refuge prayer. I go for refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So you accumulate 100,000 times, again with meditation. Then the third one is there's the practice of mandala offering. So there's a very, very powerful practice, which is to, the Vajrasattva is to purify, our base, the person. Refuge is to plant the seed on that pure base. It's very much like Vajrasattva is like, preparing the ground, the land, then you plant the seed. The refuge is like planting the seed. Then now you need to nurture that seed, like putting, the sun, the water, the compost, the manure, etc. Similarly, here now you need to nurture that seed with the accumulations of merit. So mandala offering practice is to generate merits. Like Lama Tsongkhapa, he accumulated, I think, 1.8 million mandala offering practices. There are stories that, even after he become one of the crown, kind of like a crown of all the scholars in Tibet, means the best, the smartest. And there are so many earlier scholars came to exist in Tibet to understand the Buddha's intent, in particular the most profound teaching on emptiness. Lama Tsongkhapa, he not only understood, but he even composed commentaries on that, illustrating unmistaken explanation of Buddha's intent on emptiness, Nagarjuna's intent on emptiness, the Chandrakirti's intent on emptiness, like that. But he didn't realize that the emptiness as a path. He understood everything is in the brain, but his heart didn't nurture it. The teaching didn't become path. So then he consulted with his teacher, and his teacher says, "This is very profound. I think you should consult with the Guru Manjushri." So the Buddha of Manjushri. So he makes supplication to Buddha, to have communication with Manjushri. Manjushri appeared, and Manjushri says that you need to do a lot of purification and a lot of accumulations of merit. So you should go to that one particular place, retreat place called Wakacholing. So he dedicated his time there doing Vajrasattva practice, doing refuge practice, doing mandala offering practice, doing Guru Yoga practice. Then while he's accumulating all this preliminary practice, suddenly whatever he understood, now everything become path, everything become realized, like that. So, so therefore, for us, we may know a lot of knowledge in Dharma. We may receive so many teachings. We may read so many books. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Even you understand absolute correct, maybe better than anyone else, is not good enough at all. In fact, we didn't ultimately didn't what you call achieve the final learning of the Dharma. Final learning of the Dharma is only when the Dharma become a path. Dharma realized as a path. It become your own, inner transformational wisdom and transformational attitude. That's the only time then you can claim that, okay, now I understood the Buddha Dharma completely. Now I have received the complete benefit of the Buddha Dharma, So therefore, so the mandala practice. So that's what, again, accumulate 100,000 times. Then the fourth one is the Guru Yoga practice. So now we here many of us here follow the lineage of Lama Tsongkhapa. So when we practice Guru Yoga, we can practice in relation to Lama Tsongkhapa. So they call the Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga. There's again four line kind of prayers or mantra. One line dedicated to Chenrezig to develop compassion. Another line dedicated to Manjushri to develop wisdom. Then there's another line. If especially there are 5 lines. If you accumulate the 5 lines, then one line is dedicated to the Buddha of power, Vajrapani. Then there's one line that dedicated to the combination of all, compassion, wisdom, power, guru. So the Mingme Tsebe, Techen Cherese, Teme Chimbe, Ombo Chambe, Tubu Mali Jumze Samenda, Kanchen Chebe Tsuji Tsongaba, Losanta Bishabla Soa. So this 5 line. So there are many who also conduct just the 4 line. So the Vajrapani is like put aside. But I think in our time, there's so much obstacle, and it's so beneficial to include the conduct the retreat on the basis of 5 line. So like that. Yeah. So yes. So you see. So there's a Vajrasattva practice that you can get a greater benefit by conducting a retreat, so like that. So as far as concerned with the meditation, then there are very much meditation on the basis of 4 opponent power. So whether in word mentioned or not, whenever we do a purification practice, the four opponent power will be there roughly, but it's good to learn and good to consciously, apply them. Then that would be the one of the way to, actualize the maximum benefit of purification practice, maximum benefit of purification practice in relation to Vajrasattva. So as it's saying in the Vinaya Sutra, by apply, there's not even one single negativities that which cannot be purified by the application of the four opponent power. Meaning even there's, even one have committed heinous crime, but if you purify them, application of four opponent power, it will purify them. When talk about karma, there are two types of karma, definite karma, indefinite karma, which are very much already committed in the past. So definite karma meaning definitely to experience the result. That's called definite karma. Then you may ask a question. Then that contradict to the just now the quote from the Vinaya. What Buddha says, there's no negative karma that cannot be purified by the applications of the four opponent power. So here meaning is, it's not contradictory. Even to the definite karma, when you apply the purification practice with the four opponent power, like Vajrasattva practice, it will bring the purification in the sense of reducing the duration of the time of the consequences, experience of the consequences. It will reduce the intensity of the consequences, suffering. An example, if I ever committed a karma, like through, committing heinous crime, and based on the karmic understanding, the result would be for me to suffer in the lowest, hell realm. The one of the worst, the stage of hell realm, based on the degree of suffering, is called the Vajra hell, means the worst one. Once you born there, it understood that the time is eons of lifetime. The intensity of the suffering is the greater than all the other sufferings, you put into one, the greatest form of suffering. So now, if I have such karma, now use the Vajrasattva practice and with the proper application of the four opponent power, the impact of the purification is, I may, the eons of unbearable suffering I suppose to experience the hell realm, I may experience as a headache, or maybe I may be born there just to say hello there, and the next morning take new rebirth. So maybe it's the karma could be definite to be even born in the hell realm, but you born there, and because of the practice of purification that you have done now will serve as a condition to ripen, the Buddha potentials. In Buddha potential carries so much of virtuous karmic imprint. In one way we can understand like this: there's no single virtuous karma that we have not committed in the past. We carry the potential of all the good karma, including becoming Buddha. That's why we say we carry Buddha nature, isn't it? All the good karma also we already committed. At the same time, unfortunately, all the bad karma also already committed in the past. So we carry the seed. And many of the good karma already become definite karma to be result. Many of good karma not yet become definite karma. It is waiting for the condition to be definite. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So I will talk detail about that later. So after question, then we maybe time to break also. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this teaching. Very, very grateful. And I'm very honored to be here with you. Teacher, I want to ask you this question that let's say my parents committed some karma in ignorance. And obviously, as children,
we bear the consequences, or we share the consequences with our parents because we probably have the same karma, or collective karma as it's called. And if I do any practice, or if I do any purification practice, can my parents' suffering also get reduced as a result of it?
Yes.
Or do they also need to do the same practice that I am doing?
If they can do, that will be even more effective. If not, at least children doing any practice for the parents is one of most powerful, if not more powerful than the Buddha doing prayers to your parent, children's. So that's even in the teaching emphasize the biological relationship, in particularly that channel to biological channel to the parent to the children. So children doing any form of practice, I would understand is like it will ripen almost 100%, but maybe many people feel uncomfortable to accept that. So let's say 80% for sure. So therefore, when children accumulate negative karma, that also equally will affect the parents. You see, so it play the both way. But when parents accumulate negative karma, the influence to the children is lesser, but children to the parent is so powerful.
So my question would be that when I'm practicing, right now I don't dedicate my practice, but I think should I dedicate before I start practicing that, oh, I'm doing this for my parents, or by default, if I'm practicing, they will benefit? Or should I actively, consciously say, okay, I'm practicing to clear the karma of my parents? How should I do it?
Without motivation also, just living in the practice already benefited. But if you add motivation, it will be even more effective. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey,
Hi.
When you were talking about mastering Lam Rim, you mentioned the short version.
Yeah, it's called
1.5 pages.
Yeah.
Can you say something about that, please?
Foundation of All Good Qualities. The name of the text is called Foundations of All Good Qualities, composed by Lama Tsongkhapa himself. So that the entire Lamrim part contained in just one single, each topic contained in one verse. And Middle-length Lamrim is, I don't know how many hundreds of pages. And Great Lamrim would be, the translation is a 3 big volume. Yeah. Okay, just know where I am. I will conclude that, then we take a break. So about the hell. Yes. So yeah, where am I? Indefinite karma. Yes. We have the store of all the negative karma and all the positive karma, and many of them already been definite karma. Many of them not yet. The moment complete conditions are met, then those karma will be definite karma. So therefore, therefore there's a meaning of practicing virtue, meaning of gathering virtue. It's very much collecting conditions to ripen all those good karma, including the Buddha potential, the seed that we carry, the Buddha potential. So the more you practice virtue, more you practice Dharma, then this, the pre-existing, the seed of Buddha will be fully awakened. Then that's the time that we become Buddha. So anyway, so so the purification practice, still purifies even to the definite karma by reducing its time. So there are many stories, factual stories. Even in relation to Buddha's own life, Buddha have, illustrated in Jataka tale. There are 500 unfortunate rebirth Buddha have taken, 500 fortunate rebirth Buddha have taken, and many of them are counted in the Jataka tale. So through the practice of certain, accumulation of virtues, which are the like also antidote, application in the practice of purification. So through the practice of purification, reducing the time of consequences. Like an example, like being born in the hell realm is supposed to remain there for countless years time. So you just, like one morning period of human life, human lifetime, which is so short, So then the next rebirth, you're born in the higher realms, the pain duration so short like that, you see. So similar goes to, yeah. So then through the practice of purification, all the indefinite karma can be purified from the root. Any form of negative karma, it is incompleted with conditions. Now, through the purification practice, from the root, you can purify them. Similar goes to virtuous karma. Those definite karmas, if you accumulate more conducive condition, it will be sweepen its result. Those indefinite virtuous karma, by gathering virtue, so it will complete, it will make it definite to be resultant. So like that, okay? Okay, so we take short break. Then after that, I will go through the four opponent power and how to apply that, also in relation to the Vajrasattva practice. Okay, thank you.